Happy Monday. Let's start a new unit. We're going to graph a rational function. A rational function like this, y equals 1 over x, means that you have a fraction with your variable in the denominator. Now that creates some issues when you're graphing because if x is in your denominator, we're not allowed to have zeros in the denominator, so x cannot equal 0. If x cannot equal 0, that is the first part of the graph. The equation x equals 0 is called an asymptote. The equation x equals 0 gives you a line, vertical line, down the y-axis. Now what that means is that if this is an asymptote, the graph is going to approach this line down the middle. It's going to approach here, but never touch it. That's what an asymptote is. But we also have a second asymptote. The second asymptote is y equals 0. Y cannot equal 0 because, here's why. Y will never be 0 because no matter what we put in for x, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's always calculating 1 divided by that number. It's always going to have one part of something. So y will never hit 0. It'll get super close to 0. 1 over 100, 1 over 200, 1 over 300 is very tiny, but is it 0? No. So that's why we have a second asymptote, y equals 0. To graph y equals 0, that's your horizontal line, and it's on the x-axis. So you get this asymptote right on the x-axis. You already have your asymptote on the y-axis, x equals 0, and y equals 0. Now, to get some points, if I plug in, say, 1 for x, what's 1 divided by 1? Well, that's 1. So I get the point 1, 1. Let me see if I can do that. Oops. There we go. There's 1, 1. If I plug in -1 for x, I want to plug -1 in for x. That's 1 divided by -1, -1. I get the point -1, -1, right here. Now, not getting vertigo from all of this. My asymptotes, x equals 0 and y equals 0, and those 2 points in each of the areas, well, it happens that the graph will approach but never touch your vertical asymptote and your horizontal asymptote, both in that upper corner and in this lower corner, giving you the blue lines, which is your graph. Try putting this in Y1 in your calculator and hitting graph, and maybe even do a zoom in once or twice, and you'll see a really nice picture of this. The newer calculators give you a nice shape to the graph, just like we've shown here with like these ski slopes. The older calculators will give you a little skip here, like a heartbeat, but it's kind of nice because it shows you that vertical asymptote. So your asymptotes are the lines that the graph gets infinitely close to but never cross. Your assignment for today, if you look below here, are write out the instructions on how to graph y equals 1 over x, define what asymptote means, and explain, like I did for you, why is there a vertical asymptote and why is there a horizontal asymptote. You'll turn that in as your assignment for Monday. Thank you.